and then we'll move on. Hi, everybody. Am I the only one with my bathrobe on?
I've got a sleeve T-shirt on.
Okay.
Were we supposed to be in jammies?
We
We just
decided that it's Dream Detectives, and
Oh,
so if you want to wear your bathrobe or your jammies, you can do that.
It's slippers.
Slippers, the
I
big
got my
ones.
socks on and my dress I've been wearing all day.
Did you have
So,
a nice day? Did you have a nice day?
I had a
Did you
great
go?
day. I
Oh,
did a lot
good.
of shows and I had a blast.
I did your. It was a little while later, but I did your meditation today, and it was awesome.
I did
Oh,
too.
good.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you, you
yeah.
guys.
Oh, of course, and I was off to La La Land and running immediately. And I had something to tell you that again coordinated with the next thing you said, and now I've forgotten it. I wrote it
Wow.
down, but it's upstairs.
I saw it in the chat when you said that, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
the
So
chat was
what
going
was
really
it?
fast. I can't remember now, but I did
All
see that
right.
you'd seen something that
Well, if
you
even if you have to watch it on replay, which I did because I wasn't up at 5 a.m. wherever. Is it you at 5 a.m. or Pacific 5 a.m.? I don't even
yeah,
know. It
it's
is?
7:11 Central, so it's 5:11
Okay.
Pacific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm never going to be up at 5 to do that. But
I
I
am
might.
sometimes.
yeah,
I get excited when I am.
yeah.
I'm like,
Uh,
oh, I can catch Terry.
That's right.
well, it
Yeah.
was very nice and it was
Oh,
beautiful
thanks.
and I was relaxed and rested. Next time I'm going to lay flat though. But I
Okay.
thought it was interesting because my dog came up on the bed and I knew she was there when I'm in the middle of it. And I went like this and she came over and she melted into me. So she was getting it too, Terry.
Mm.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
She was
I
getting,
love
hey,
it.
warrior girl. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. So let me just quickly introduce everybody. We have Callie Healer Kelly. We have Dream Detective Kate. And she coming to you from the Dream Detectives. Next week we'll be back on her channel again because every
Okay.
other week we do that. We have Diana Boles, aka Oil Painter, and we have Terry from Holding Your Space. And we were just talking about Terry's wonderful morning meditation.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Diana, did you have something you wanted to say? Was there something you wanted to say?
No, not really. But if I have a dream book with me in
Oh,
case
okay.
we have time and
All right.
we
All
want to
right.
talk about
We
dreams
want
and
to talk about it.
healing and food. And
Sounds good. Sounds good. So yes, and before we leave tonight, Kate will be talking about a possible place for us to meet up next for next week's show to discuss it next week's show. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about something that I need to talk about that has to do with subscribers. And so, just a little bit of a heads up to everybody, including my moderators, Terry's moderators, Kate's moderators. So today I posted on my community page that I had lost like 17 people. And again, I wasn't saying it for people to feel bad for me or, I appreciate everybody and I have an awful lot of subscribers and I love each and every one. So, but it's been a mystery for me for 3 years that I've been doing this. And I finally got an answer. Sue Butterfly Kisses let me know that if you post like a link to Kate's channel, if you're a moderator and you post a link to Kate's channel or Terry's channel or Callie's channel in the chat, and somebody clicks on it to go to their channel to subscribe, that it will subscribe you for about a day or 2 days, and then it will drop you. So it isn't really behoove us to do that. So in all of my shows, anyway, I have a list of how to get a hold of and or go and subscribe to people's channels. They also said you had to be signed in to Google because you may not have been signed in completely. As you know, YouTube is a Google company. So just sometimes we've lost. One time I've lost 60 people. I've seen people lose a lot more than that, and I think it has to do with that. So I've always asked people to put in links to other people's channels in the chat because I love sharing the wealth. I love people to know where you are, and I love sharing that you have a channel. But I guess it isn't behooving you or me or anyone else to do so. So just a heads up that this is something new that I did not even know. And of course, there are times when we have bots or we have trolls that come and do stuff with us, and we lose those folks eventually. But this is a very deliberate taking away.
Yeah.
The other thing, I was also told that YouTube, if you don't go to somebody's channel after a while, that YouTube drops you off of their membership list. And I have to tell you, I subscribe to people's channels for 3 years or more, and I've never been dropped, even if I
Same.
don't go there.
Same here. Same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Ditto.
So it really is something about the algorithm, apparently. So anyway, just a heads up. All right. So everybody put your dreams in the chat. And Kate, I'm going to let you talk about Veronica.
Veronica Franco.
Yeah.
So, one of my favorite all-time movies is called Dangerous Beauty, and it stars, who does it star? Jacqueline Bisset, Rufus Sewell. The main actress is Catherine.
Deneuve?
No, younger. It'll come to me. I'll probably realize it in the middle of the show. I'm a little embarrassed. I can't remember. It's a story about a courtesan in the 1500s in Venice, where she falls in love with a beautiful man, of course, but she can't pursue him because she's not from that elevation of status. She doesn't have the right status. And so her mother, Jacqueline Bisset, teaches her how to become a courtesan. And it was fascinating to me that at that point in history, a courtesan was allowed into the libraries. She was allowed into the politics discussions. She was allowed in everywhere that average women or other women were not allowed in. Only the courtesans were allowed to be educated, if you will, in the world of in the world of politics or science or any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So they were actually very educated, and she was incredibly witty. She was incredibly smart, and she wrote poetry. So they would have poetry competitions, and she would win. And so the story is of this, unrequited love where she can't be with the one that she wants to be with. So she decides she's going to become the best courtesan. Well, as the story unfolds, the men decide they have to put a stop to this because she's got too much power over all of the men. All of the men. Okay, so they accuse her of witchcraft when they were really just in love with her. Okay, so it's a really fascinating historical story. One about autonomy, about embracing the feminine, about aspiring to something bigger because your circumstances have been holding you back. And then the court scene where they actually are trying her, because if she's convicted of witchcraft, even though she's not doing witchcraft, all the men are in love with her. All the men are in love with her. Okay, so they have a hearing on whether or not to hang her. Wow. She actually, anyway, it's a wonderful, fascinating story. The movie is called Dangerous Beauty. Yeah, I think you can get it on Prime. I don't know if you have to pay $3 or whatever it is, or if you have access to maybe a Hoopla. It might be in a library selection where you can watch the movie that way. Beautifully done, beautiful costumes. Of course, who doesn't like Venice, right? And it was at its peak. It was when Venice was at its peak, right, with its arts and its music and its clothing and its riches and just amazing, amazing history. So I thought.
Is there another movie though? Is Veronica her name?
Her name is Veronica Franco.
In the movie.
She's a real person. She's a real person. But the movie that I'm talking about, if you want to watch the movie, because sometimes I like information to come to me, is Dangerous Beauty. So I thought it would be really fun for us to travel to Venice in 1500s and see or be in the courtroom when the tide changes and see what happens in the middle of this courtroom drama. I think it would be really, really fun to be there. Okay. And you can choose. You can come as the courtesan, with the flamboyance and the beauty and the sexy, or you can come as the regular wife where it's buttoned up and laced and, where they don't eat bananas. So, I mean, it's just.
So Jay, I was going to say that, and you.
Oh no, I was going to say that.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, Jay, you're so funny.
She's wonderful.
Oh,
So anyway,
Yes, bump.
yeah. So there it
That's
is. So
Yep.
that's the idea of the 1500s Venice, to go to the trial of Veronica Franco.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You can get inspiration for costumes by watching the movie,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And so even if we don't get to meet up with each other, it's just a good exercise to try to set a goal in a dream and then compare notes.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
everybody should give it a try.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. That's wonderful. So I'm guessing that you all went to Easter Island last week, did you? Those who were here? Did you guys go?
I got there, but not at the same time as others. And I never
Okay.
quite made it onto the island.
Okay.
I was on a cruise ship
Okay.
and I saw it from the cruise ship. And
Okay.
Jay was on the cruise ship with me.
Jay,
Wow.
You guys in your golf cart.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. That's right. We were on a golf cart, and oh yeah,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were on a golf cart on the
Wow.
Beep, beep.
Oh my God! Look at
And-
that Easter Island
And I was in
picture.
the
Oh my
theater
God!
with my husband, but it wasn't my husband, and he had his arm around me. And Jay shows up in the golf cart and says, ask something about going to get a cocktail, and my husband said, I'll take a Greyhound, and she and I wanted salty dogs. So she and I took off in the golf cart, came back with the cocktail,
Oh,
and the next
wow.
thing I know, we're sitting over the railing drinking and watching the statues cross from the boat
Wow,
while we're docking.
cool.
I love it.
It is.
I know, it's so
On the
silly.
golf
was so
cart. Yeah.
It's so silly.
Are you sure you weren't? Are you sure you weren't down in Florida?
Well, yeah, we were leaving.
Yeah.
We're coming. We're
Yeah.
going.
What is it? The Centennial. What is the name of that place? That remember they were all fighting during the election, and they were all they were all in golf carts. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I remember that.
Plantation, Florida. That's what it is. I think. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow. Well, everybody that's here, it's nice to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm wondering if I don't have a dream for you. I haven't been able to, you know how that goes with me. So who has a dream they want to share? And anybody in the chat can always put a dream in, please.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Kelly. What do you got, Kelly?
Oh, I was just waving. I was saying
Oh, you were waving at Landon? Okay.
Landon, and then Jay said hi, and so
Okay. No problem. I thought you had a dream. All right. I know Diana does. Did you have one, Kate or Terry?
Well, let Diana go.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Diana.
All right.
Okay. So, I'm working on some really old stuff that needs to be healed inside of me. Some baggage,
Okay.
like we all have, right?
Yeah.
And Friday night, I had some pretty good encounter with what it is I have to let go of, and some of it includes my husband, who had
Okay.
become my ex-husband before he passed away.
That's right.
So I did face a lot of things that Friday night. And then when I had the dream, I was looking out over the kitchen sink. And this is not really my backyard here, but I mean, it wasn't this kitchen, but it really did have a familiar feel to it. Though I can't understand exactly what house we were at. And all of a sudden, my husband came up behind me. And I was unbuttoning this blue sweater that I have had forever and a day. It's very lightweight, and it's like that old grandpa sweater, but it's very lightweight. And so it's a V-neck cardigan with pockets and such. I'm unbuttoning it, and he comes up behind me, and he starts just romancing me. I mean, like a couple that have been married for 50 years and still get it on, you know? It's like,
Uh-huh.
anyways, I he didn't want to let me go, and I turned around and to hug him back, and he embraced we embraced each other, passion of new love. There was another voice. I had been told was sick with I had been told he was sick with cancer. This is how he wanted to be when that all happened, though not how he was. And he didn't let go of me that whole time through this dream. He danced me over to the table so he could reach for another cigarette and light it. And as he did, he dipped me, you know, like the old
Yeah.
or tango dip. And then he dipped me again over the whole table, and it was a table that I do have. And so that then he left, and then I had another dream,
Hmm.
you know. And when I went back to the next dream, two people were talking to me, and it there had been an interaction with the ghost of Matt on that Friday night and in this dream, which happened a couple of days after that interaction.
Hmm.
And then what I was given was the message from the guides that was written on this jar. And I had created a candle. I made this candle, and it was burn when healing is needed for memories made burn. Flame heals, flame calls in, flame bonds. And this was written all over the top of this the jar cover. It was a ring and lid, right? So when you take the ring off, you pop the lid. But when it was the way it was written, it was so that it was such a circular motion. It didn't matter where you started the sentence or where you ended the sentence. Like you could just keep running it together, right? And then it was written on the label as well. And then there was some sort of a new skill that I was well. So it was memories are made to burn, and burn this candle to make memories. It's just
I'm struck by the fact that you can begin and there's no beginning or no end. So, and that's really what happened in your relationship with your husband, because you got
and
divorced, but then you were his caretaker. So you really didn't ever break up.
and it's like the traditional gold wedding band.
Right. Correct. Correct. And you could start anywhere and
Mm-hmm.
still get to the other parts of it. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? When did you have this stream?
On the night of the 28th into the morning of the 29th, and Friday was the 26th, right? Or the 20.
Okay.
So
Because
it's
I was working on you on Monday, and and the
This
only reason
this
just
past
this
Monday.
last Monday. And one of the things I wrote down is when I was working on you, I got this overwhelming smell of cigarette smoke.
Oh my God!
And
It
so
was
I
in my
wrote
room.
down,
It was
I,
in my room. I was in the moon lodge writing
oh
all this down because I don't do it when I wake up. I get my tea or whatever and go to the moon lodge and start writing and sketching. And I mean, it was overwhelming. Like,
yeah, where it was so strong. I mean, I wrote it down. I mean, it, and I got a mail. I got a mail that it was a mail. But yeah. So anyway, that was something I did pick up on
wow.
you on Monday.
See how in
Amazing.
tandem you can be I mean, the fact that you were working on it, it wasn't a dream, but it was that state. It was that dream state. Yeah.
Oh, Callie, I have
Yeah.
chills.
Yeah.
911.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
my
was-
and my ability to walk and all of that other business that y'all know I've been with this Saturn return on a bunch of surgeries that I had, etc. There's a bunch of other stuff that clings in there as well, and it's just the steady releasing of all these tendons and muscles that have been cramped since the beginning of time, but sincerely through the since the surgeries.
And look at what we're living in right now is a 7-planet retrograde.
7-planet retrograde at 7 degrees and 25 minutes is when the moon and the sun are conjunct. It's conjunct right now, 9:21. Any second, we're at it right now.
Right.
Well, and it's only going to get stronger because I do believe that here in the east it'll be 9:40 when it's exact.
Okay.
So we're 10 minutes away from it, sort of.
So but it isn't all the revisiting, redoing, reminding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Readdressing
Yeah.
or redressing the wound.
Redressing wrongs. Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm so hyped I won't be able to sleep. Which might be a good thing, actually.
Wow.
Who knows where I'll end up? I'll end up in Veronica's court already.
Look at this. Froxy was a caregiver too before her husband died. The irony with Diana is that she had divorced her husband. How long were you divorced before you?
8 years, 9 years.
Oh, okay.
He
And
died.
then he got ill.
Our divorce was final March 9th of 2009, and he died in 2018 on May 19th.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So yeah,
All those nines.
all those nines, and boy, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Hi, Valerie. Hi, Wiki. Hi, Gypsy. Ginny. Thanks for Pierrett's here. Froxy. Wildflower. Yeah. Oh, there was love there, Froxy says. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the retrogrades cause tiredness, Wildflower says.
Tiredness, fatigue,
Uh-huh.
emotions, irritability.
Well, and we can attribute much of that right now to the opposition between the moon and the sun. They are, expanding this light faction between them. The moon is the closest it can be because it's a supermoon. So it is as closest to Earth it ever gets. And this is this is the closest one. We're not going to have another blue moon. I don't think we get
2037, isn't it? 2037.
There you go.
Yep.
It's going to be a long time before we have another blue moon such as this.
Wow. That's
Now we
amazing.
sometimes get blue moons because they're, because of the color of them, but these particular 2 full moons in 1 month.
In 1 month.
And when it happens in October, woot, because that last one usually comes on Samhain.
Oh, it does. Okay. Yep. Okay. Wow. Yes, her dreams are totally interesting and detailed. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Annie.
Yeah. So Annie says, I've had very vivid and clearing dreams, loads of people, situations that I stay in my higher self and they all act out.
Right.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And this was a movie. It felt like it was really going on. When I see it as a movie,
Yeah.
it's there. It's really happening.
It really happened.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Do you think it's another dimension? And in that dimension, that's how that worked out?
I do, because, we all walk around with the belief that love will fix everything. We got to eat a whole lot of crap before it does. And, that was just one of the things. I couldn't put frosting on the poop sandwich because it was still a poop sandwich. So,
Yeah.
no matter how you tried. And
Yeah.
in so doing, also as his caregiver, whenever he showed that unappreciative BS that he carried with him in life because of his unrequited mother issues,
Mhm.
um, if I had done that when we were married, just hauled off and said what I was thinking, we may never have ended up divorced.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that. I wasn't
Falling into patterns. Yeah.
falling into that codependency that we
Yeah. Yep.
fall prey to and don't even realize that that's what's going on because we're
And we all do it. We
as
do.
as women, as divine feminine beings, we see the magic in everything.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Oh, I
So
like.
Annie Bear said she found a little water type altar in a pond in one of her dreams, surrounded by Lhasa Apsos.
Oh,
Robin,
Oh, that sounds
Phil-
beautiful.
very-
yeah.
oh, I love that one. And what
Me too.
rabbits are all about fertility and
Uh-huh.
dreaming
New
and
things coming in. Yeah. Yeah.
materialize.
Yeah.
And water is about healing, and this blue moon is all about the healing because Virgo is the nurturer, the analytic, has the analytic ability to get to the heart of what the problem is and solve the issue
Uh-huh.
and come up with the right uh, medication.
Yep.
And I use that term loosely. And this blue moon in Pisces is exactly that. Water is the healer.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Um, I hate to interrupt, but Sharon, thank you so much for being here, Sharon Sipe. I just got through explaining in the very beginning of this that we just recently found out that if people go to links that are created in the chat and they sign up for somebody's channel, that 2 or 3 days later they get dumped. So we're not going to be putting them in there anymore because it's not helping people. We can tell people, for instance, go to Dream Detective Kate, and the information would be in our channel. But apparently, this is creating a real big problem, and it's screwing up the algorithm. So thank you, my dear. You didn't know, so thank you so much.
Right.
All right.
I do it
Yep.
too, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do
That's
too.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all are going to have to stop doing it. That's the bad, and it isn't because we don't want to promote anybody. It's
Yeah.
just because
Yeah.
it isn't really promoting. So yeah. All right. So Juanita dreamed he was yelling at Trump in person.
Don't
Was
we
I
all?
with you?
Yeah, we all
Was I
are.
with you? I
Yeah,
know.
we all are. Yeah,
We all are.
Yeah. Well, yep.
that's hysterical.
But I'm feeling as though he's got the blinders everywhere.
Mhm.
That's great, Juanita. I hope you felt better when you were done.
Yes.
I
That had to feel good.
had to feel good. That's right. That's right. All right. So we've got. Oh, you were angry and telling him off. You should be angry with him. Good girl.
Right.
If I get a chance to yell at him too, I will. I will. Hypnicity, enjoy your meal. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, Jay Marcus, her dreams were about jumping timelines. Oh my God. Spent most of the time trying to get back to your original timeline. It was
Wow.
exhausting. Wow, Jay.
Mhm.
That's like quantum leap, isn't it? Did you
Yeah.
go into a body?
Well, and so
Yeah.
what did you see when you were in a new timeline? And
Yes.
not that
Yes.
not that you should know how much time you spent there, but was there enough existence in that timeline to get a feel for it, to understand it, or realize where you were?
Yeah. Yeah. Put it up if you can. We'd love
Well, and
to
I,
know.
I do get that we really are jumping timelines as we're ascending. And so it literally could mean that you are jumping, you're progressing so fast that you're literally jumping timelines.
Well, and it would be interesting to know if they were her past lives, if the timelines were in the past. Because if she's healing those areas from the past by being in that timeline, then it could be that that's why she was jumping, because she was able to heal whatever that experience was, to bring her back to current, so that they wouldn't come and haunt her, so that whatever it was that was happening in those past lives could stay there and be healed and not come here and be in the current time frame.
With the dystopian, do it all the time, worst timeline everyone was living in. Yes.
Yeah, there's a certain type of healing also where you go jump timelines into the past and do a healing like that Kate was talking about, that I do, and then, or I was shown to do, and then you bring it all to present. While you're back there, you get counseling for this person or healing, whatever they need. You bring it to present, and then you bring it to future, where everyone, all the descendants, everything has changed, and then you bring it back again to present.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you wake up exhausted.
Yes. Yes.
Or crying like I was. I woke
Like
up
you
crying.
were.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, the thing about retrograde that I found really interesting recently was the word release has the same meaning as forgive. And in our multiple existences, there are opportunities in every retrograde to allow that forgiveness healing power to come through. Because the retrograde allows us to release and heal at the same time in the forgiveness. Okay, in that act of saying, okay, I forgive, please forgive me. In both ways, the reciprocity of both, coming clear, coming clean, washing it away. And so retrogrades can be really exhausting, because the spirit work that you're doing in that period is that hard stuff of saying, "Ugh, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna let that go now." So,
Yeah.
you know, it can be really exhausting. It can also be very freeing. It can be very uplifting in that you're not carrying around that anymore. You know, that you've let it go. You know,
Yeah.
so it can be really, really powerful.
Wow.
Oh, Jay.
A lot of times when you do wake up too, you don't, when you know you've been on one of those journeys and you are healing, a lot of times you don't know what day it is. You wake up and you're like, okay, well, is
Where
it the
am I?
weekend? What day is it? Where am I? And you've been venturing out doing healing.
Oh yeah.
Right. Where am I? Who am I? The who am I comes in a lot for me. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, who am I? which life is this? Okay, good. We're good. Let's go.
There you go.
Yeah.
This whole month of August has set me in that. What day of the week is this? What? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't care. There is no timeline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either gone. Well, my friend is here from the Boston area, and when I'm at her house, I tell her it's crazy. Everything goes really fast here. It's like zoom and it's night, zoom and it's, And so I said, I think time goes slower out west. And I said, and so now after 3 or 4 days, she agreed with me. She said, it does. It does.
Really?
It's
Interesting.
totally different. Yes.
It is.
It's slower. Yes.
We wake up later.
Yeah, well, we do, but
Well, you wait.
you know,
Yeah. We're the
it's
sleeping
like
crowd.
one day we looked at the clock and we said, God, it's only 11. It was like, we thought we'd done a lot of things and it should have been maybe 2,
Oh, wow.
Well, there's more wide open spaces out west.
I don't know.
No matter how hard they try to build LA till it reaches Colorado.
Yeah, I know. But it's just very strange. But, I thought it was just me and I was, delusional or something. But she did agree with me that probably is true. It's true for her as well. All right, so we got 4 or 5 different dreams here, which I missed, and I apologize to all those. Maybe they were doing it when Diana was explaining her dream, and I hope you felt you got some solution with the dream that you did give us. Did you feel like you got solution? Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
Allie, we have to talk.
Yes. Oh, I know you do. You two do. So Carolyn Booker has gone from all my friends coming to comfort me over a friend's death to his separated wife attacking me the last 2 nights. What is happening in my dreams? So I'm guessing, Carolyn, that the first dream was the one you said, and then now you've got the wife attacking you. Yeah.
But is that a dream she posted a couple weeks back with the friends coming to comfort her?
It sounds
Oh.
familiar.
Right?
Does?
That's
Okay.
Carolyn. I think that was your dream a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago now.
Yeah. Let us know, Carolyn. I can't remember. If hi, Jenny. I haven't. I don't know. But why don't you go ahead and see? This is the past 2 nights. So
Over
Okay.
death to his separated wife. Now all those friends are coming and attacking you?
has the wife is. I've
Oh, the
gone
wife.
from having all my friends coming over to comfort me over a friend's death to his separated wife attacking me in the last 2
Okay.
nights.
Okay.
Maybe you feel like we're closer to him than her.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Alan.
Hmm.
Somehow she's confusing,
Okay.
or you see her as accusing you of being the other woman.
Oh. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was her a couple of weeks ago. Boy, you got a good memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Terry, you want to?
Yeah, I feel like
Go.
the friends coming over to comfort you are aspects of yourself
Mhm.
that are trying to self-soothe about this. And then the separated wife would be like a conscious aspect of yourself that you're trying to comfort yourself, but there's still a part of yourself is grief is like an attack sometimes, right? Especially at first, when it first comes on. So this could be, I think, part of your processing, and it's scary when grief comes in sometimes, and it
Definitely.
can come in as anger and fear.
Kate?
When I first read the dream, I agree with Terry that the comforting part is confirmation that all is well. And that is all is well in the way you want things to proceed and the way that you want your life to move forward. The attacking separated wife to me feels like an untruth that you're struggling with. That someone has said something to you, or in your past, there's this piece where it's not true, but because it was associated with someone that you loved or that you cared for, it lingers and wants to come back and keep coming in to say, no, I'm right. You have to believe this, because when your true self is saying, oh, no, 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 that is just not true. And look how long I've lived with that. Or look how long I've thought that was real. So the attack is something trying to prove itself to you that it needs to remain, when you're saying, no, I don't believe that anymore. I'm not going to hold on to that anymore. And the strength and comfort of knowing that you are walking the correct path, that you are walking in the direction that you need to be walking in. You may have other types of dreams come in that will try and challenge that. They'll try and come in and say, are you sure? Because, it was awfully fun the old way, or, we had, you believed it for such a long time. Why are you suddenly not believing it? When truth comes through, it comes through. And
Right.
sometimes it comes through in a way that makes you stand up and fight for it, makes you want to have the courage to say, enough, I'm done with that. I'm not living that anymore. Because I didn't get the impression that she was close to this separated wife. I didn't get the impression that that the message that this person had had really any truth to it at all, had any bind, had any connection, had any friendship or relationship, other than the fact that it was challenging the walking your true path, being in comfort, being comforted by and supported by angels and guides, being supported by friends, knowing that all is well. So that's my hit. I
Yeah.
hope it, I hope it brings comfort. Stand strong in your truth. It'll never let you down.
I
It'll
will
never,
tell you.
never let you down.
I will tell you. She says she's never met her. She's always hated me because he wouldn't let go after 40 years. I will tell you there are. Oh, you got cards. Okay, good. I will tell you I've had this something similar happen. Yeah, women can be very
President, yeah.
and they pick on the woman instead of the man.
Mhm.
Yeah. Go ahead, Diana. What do you got?
Well, you know, my first hit was that she saw you as the other woman. So I
Uh-huh.
picked from the Land of Oz cards. All right.
Uh-huh.
This is about nostalgia. The first card I pulled was nostalgia, right? So your past relationship with him is nostalgic for you. It was nostalgic for him as well. She saw that whole thing as jeopardizing her relationship.
Mm.
And the the effect that you had with this old affection, he still carries you.
Yeah. Once a friend, always a friend, and it didn't have to be any more than that. But
Exactly.
some people get jealous of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Callie, did you have anything else? I didn't want to step over you if you had something
Oh,
else to say.
well, I kind of just briefly, I picked up on the same thing. I picked up that she's holding on to fear from, being thought of as the other woman, and that there might have been something. And I also get that she's healing, she's moving through this discomfort that and so it's a healing process. But I want you to know that I did get that you're protected. So
Okay.
as icky as it may be, in your dreams, you are protected.
You're protected.
You can call on Archangel Michael too before you go to bed, just to bring in extra protection, if you feel like you've got a lot on your mind before you go to sleep.
The bottom of the deck said bewilderment.
Oh,
Mm.
yep. It's coming through in the dreams.
Right. Look at all those.
That's amazing.
Especially in retrograde.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Carolyn Booker. Thank you, dear. We have another Carolyn Adams.
Oh.
I've been dreaming about having a child. Now, in real life, I met my husband at 39 and we tried and failed to conceive. In this dream, my ex was telling me we had a daughter and gave me a name. Other universe?
Mm.
Wow. All right. Could it be past life, child? I'm wondering how the name. You don't say what the effect of the name. That's all I, like. How you. For me, I have some of my daughter's friends are I call them my kids. I'll say, oh yeah, Eddie's my son, but he isn't. I mean,
Yeah.
but he just resonates really well with me, and so that's I'm gonna. Oh, you're welcome, dear. I'm gonna throw it out for you ladies to go ahead and talk about or give your impressions on, if you would.
I'm just kind of wondering, Carolyn, did you ever have a miscarriage?
She said that it was not English word; it was Hawaiian or something. But she hasn't answered your question just yet. Okay. You're welcome, Carolyn Booker. Did you have a miscarriage, Carolyn?
If she didn't in this life, perhaps it was in another life, because I'm getting like a child from heaven saying hello. So if it wasn't from this life, Carolyn, I think it was in another life you may have lost a child, unfortunately.
And I was getting another life. My ex thinks I have a miscarriage. He's a psychic. If I did, it was early.
Mm.
I just got validation. Yeah. So it is your child just saying hello. Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I got
Wow.
angel bumps.
Yep.
That's beautiful. It also might be I'm getting some Palladian energy. I don't know if that's a guide or that's you on in another dimension, because there is no time or space. So kind of where you're from, but I'm getting a real Palladian energy around that daughter too.
Oh.
So
Wow. Wow.
Oh, and perhaps not really a miscarriage, just doesn't reside with her.
yeah, hybrid
Oh.
galactic child. That's
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cool thing is that Carolyn can visit her anytime in her dreams.
Yes.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Very cool.
She has heard Palladian before. Okay.
Yeah. This would be a good one for Dr. Gal. She's
Mhm.
really good with this, and especially with these hybrid children.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Wow.
it'd be
especially
really interesting, Carolyn.
if we knew the name.
Hmm.
You say it sounded Hawaiian.
But it wasn't English. It was out of this world.
It was out of this world, right? Hawaiian is often out of this world.
That's
Hawaii, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Carolyn, actually, this is kind of fun. I mean, I'm just sensing that you've probably had this dream before,
Mhm.
and it's just you're having it again, and you remembered it this time because, it's very possible you didn't complete that pregnancy because it was taken.
Mhm.
Wow. Wow.
Very
Katie?
interesting.
No, I
Katie?
agree. Yeah, I
You
agree
agree?
totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the relationships that we have, when spirit has relationships are 24/7. It's only our humanness that puts the boundaries on or limits on how we communicate or when we can communicate, because
Okay.
we are trying to get by on the planet. So you
I
know,
hope. I
imagine
just hope this wasn't Kellyanne Conway.
That crossed my mind.
Well,
In all fun.
I-
In all fun.
I slipped the card back, but I had gotten the Chariot, and I had also gotten the Queen of Swords. Now look, she is floating up on this building with multiple windows.
oh,
It's out of the world,
it's out of this world.
right?
Yeah.
Hotel
Wow.
The
I know
other
it.
that came out with the Chariot, and I stuck them back into the deck because
Mhm. Yeah.
I couldn't get it past there. But once Terry began speaking, I went, oh my God, that's what that was.
That was that
Yeah.
one.
And she's in blue.
right.
So yeah.
English version of Kellyanne.
Ironically, that's my name, Kellyanne.
Lilio Kilana.
There you go, Kelly.
Sounded a little like Lilio Kiliani.
Lilio Kalani. Yeah.
It sounds a lot like light language,
Yeah.
Carolyn.
Oh,
It does. It does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, Carolyn, how cool! How cool.
Very cool, Carolyn.
Look to your dreams again, honey. See
Yeah.
Oh
if we can
yeah,
get more
come back
pieces.
with more on this.
Yeah, more pieces. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
love
that would be
this.
great.
You can ask to go there.
you can.
And the other thing too is you don't have to pronounce it correctly. You can even create a nickname. You
Yeah.
can create my little
Yeah.
one. You can say, "Can I please spend some time with my little one?"
Yeah.
And in your dream state, you will get to know her, and she's probably being held by your guardian angels and your angels and guides as well, for you to be able to access that. So it's really quite beautiful.
It
I
is.
hope that you'll let us know, Carolyn. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Oh, KK
Oh.
heard. Well, Jay says Kali, and then KK says Kalian, and Kali is a archetype, a Hindu
Yes, it
archetype.
is. It is a
Yeah,
archetype. Yeah.
um,
Yep.
love
Oh,
Kali.
Kali. Yes,
I
Kali.
Yeah,
love this. Her ex is much more fun in dreams.
Aren't they all?
Mine are
Oh
too.
my gosh. I don't ever even think of him.
Yeah.
That's
And Jay
amazing.
said that.
Testify.
Jay
yeah,
said Callie as well. There you go. Yep. Oh
yeah,
my God. Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so we have Wiki. She remembered more of her dream. She was at a family gathering, some cousins I didn't recognize. My aunt was on the phone saying goodbye, and I knew who she was, but I called her a different name. I get that a lot. I get I get that I'm with my husband, but he's not my husband. He doesn't look like my husband, but he's my husband.
Yeah.
And the only time I can really relate, think about it is this person must have been a husband of mine in some former life. So I wonder if that's what it is. Either that or you're getting too old, Wiki. My mother,
Or
my mother used to call me Louise all the time, who was a younger sister because it just popped out. And
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not saying you're getting too old, dear. It's all right.
I want to ask if your aunt has crossed over, and perhaps the name you called her is the name she has now because she's been reborn.
Oh,
Oh, she says in real life she is 95 and frail. Was she saying
Oh,
goodbye?
oh.
Oh, that's possible.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
and she's already got her name picked out for the next time she's back here.
Right. And you know, as spirit, we have the same family members in many lifetimes. And they
Mhm.
do, and sometimes the roles change.
Yeah.
So in a previous lifetime, you know, she may have been someone else, but still
Mhm.
connected to you, still loving you, still being a part of your journey.
So if she hasn't gone, she's communicating with you that maybe she'd like to see you and your cousins before she leaves.
Yeah.
Very
She's
good.
on her phone. And so if you can see her or, go visit her beforehand, it could be she lives till February or
Right.
later. But
Right.
yeah.
And if you could recall the name, maybe that is someone who is a caretaker for her
Hmm.
at 95 or will be one of the
Yeah.
last
Hmm.
Yeah.
to take care of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling like she's probably in and out of this world at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And spirit does work through technology with the telephone.
That's
Um,
true.
those cousins that you hadn't met before, didn't recognize, but you knew they were your cousins. It was a
She
different
says
aunt's
it was a
name.
different aunt's name. Is that aunt on the other side? Because if your aunt's on the other side that you call to, then she's seeing that
And
person, and
she's
yeah, it's a recognition.
right.
Yeah.
She's calling
Yeah.
the other
Uh-huh.
aunt.
That's it, honey. That's it. She's
Yeah.
calling her other, yeah. And you're saying goodbye, her name,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
she's other part of that communication. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's half in, half out, but she already has family around her, Wiki.
Yeah.
As I think another thing that she's trying to show you because you can
Hmm.
see it
Hmm.
Right.
that she's protected and she's already in a family
Yeah.
over there.
And
Yeah.
watch for a repetition of that name somewhere as you approach February because I think you're getting a correct hit with this February.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and I can vouch that when people are getting ready, well, pets and people when they're getting ready to pass, we go between universes.
hmm.
Um, we have my son's cat, and I had him. Well, he lives with us, but over the weekend, he wasn't doing very well, and um, I was sitting on the couch, and I looked over, and I saw him walking along over by the dining room table, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I look, and he was laying by me. And so
Hmm.
he's already starting to go between
Between
universes. And
places.
so, like Terry said, I
Yeah.
bet she's going, in and
Yeah.
out.
Well, they always see things there are people that, like Kim Copeland, works with people that are in hospice, and they'll be talking to their Uncle Ernie who's there, and they very clearly see him, and they do come and visit and get them used to what's going on and what will happen to them. So
Mhm.
there you go. All right. So, Pierrette, I saw you and your spaceships, girlfriend. You're up in the sky half the time. Let's see. You saw one that was red in color and triangular. It went over strip crystals. The crystals look like when there's a dip in the middle, and the strips were from up. Was it upside down? You wanted to say, or up down? You said. Oh, okay. So the crystals were this way, but the strips were up and down. Okay, I get it. Okay. Wow, red in color. Triangular. Sounds like a pyramid in a way, doesn't it?
It sure does. Or Machu Picchu with the steps.
Yep. Yeah.
Or ley lines.
Mm.
They come in colors.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be used as portals too. So
Okay. Wow. Anything from the peanut gallery?
I think it kind of almost sounds like an astro travel.
It does to me too. Yeah.
Where
She's having a lot of this. I think the activity in her area is ramping up. I really do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. It feels like it's so detailed.
But I don't get a fear, Pierrette. I don't feel like you have fear around it. I hope not.
Exploring.
Yeah.
I get actually protection, that it's letting her know that she's protected and that her area is protected, which is a beautiful thing.
Yep. So it's more like a crown than crystals. Oh my God, that must be beautiful.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's Starfleet Command. They're the big wigs. Yeah.
I'm often sent on missions, and I have to go do things. And I travel on a small triangular ship. It's a small ship.
Was it you?
What night did you have that dream?
Annie, you're right. Pierrette is a wayshore. Pierrette is a wayshore. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Pierrette.
Sharon, don't put the links in. Yeah, because people will click them and go to them and they won't work later. So that's all. But I appreciate all the work you've done. Really, I am. We thank you from the bottom of our heart. I just had no idea.
The lady is always on cue everywhere I go. I love it.
She's fabulous.
I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Yes.
But it's not just my channel or these ladies. Supposedly everybody will have this issue. So, all right. So Lori, this is so interesting to see about being unsure about time. I've been taking more afternoon naps the last few weeks. I have no idea what time it is or what day it is.
Right,
Lauren?
Yep. The higher we go, the less we need.
The less time won't matter, will it?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Annie says, I was attacked in my dreams or my energy body when I was much younger. I wore a silk scarf around my abdominal aorta for a year and did much protection and cleansing work. That's a fabulous share with us, Annie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
It's amazing, Annie.
Yeah.
Really
Awesome.
So Randy asks, Marilla asks this question, and then Randy sort of asks a similar one. What can we do to remember our dreams more? And of course, ladies, you can give the tips. And why do some people not dream? Randy says, the truth is, Randy, we all dream, but you may not remember those dreams. So it's finding the tips that these ladies can offer you to remember them that might help you to do so. So go ahead, ladies. Let it go.
Well, I'll start. This is
Okay.
Often you get up multiple times through the night. and you come out of a dream state, and the minute your feet hit the floor, you forget it. Before I allow my feet to hit the floor, I think of one word that's a key word, something that happened in the dream. And then I go on about my business. And if there's another word, then I say that word. But I also say the first word first and then add the second word. If I get another one, first word, second word, third word, until I go back to sleep. And then the process will continue if I get up a second time, third time. But when I wake in the morning, I get those words, those key words that I've had in my head that I've repeated over and over while I'm in that waking state.
Mm-hmm.
So that when I do wake, those words come right to my head, and then I'm able to go from there.
Mm-hmm. Annie
Yeah,
says she does
but
better if she thinks about it or meditates before it, or says to herself, "I'm going to remember a dream that's important to
right,
me."
call
Yeah,
in your
calling in.
guides.
Yep.
Call in your guides. Binaural beats. I really like sound bath. There's
Mm-hmm.
a couple of sound bath. There's a lot of them, but there's different color ranges, and I appreciate the ones with the pink range. And then there's a blue range that I discovered today that is really good for meditation.
Wow.
Okay. Terry, what are your recommendations?
I agree with everything that Diana said. And then also recapitulation, just right before you go to bed, you remember five things,
Mm-hmm.
recapitulate your day, five
Yep.
things that you did during the day. As time goes on, you can, your memory will get better and better right before you go to bed, and you can remember five
Uh-huh.
things you did when you were five.
Right.
And that just kind of trains your brain right before you go to bed.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, Randy Gardner.
And
Yeah.
that really is just all you have to do is just ask.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I know it seems too easy. It's like what, but it really does if you ask, and you can get specific and ask your angels and your guides and
Mm-hmm.
helpers and
You can
ancestors.
even ask for a dream to reveal something to you if you're
Yeah.
Mhm.
struggling with it. So it is important. Katie girl?
Yeah. For me, dreams are a spiritual experience. It is one of the highest spiritual experiences that you can because it's very intimate. You are connected in the dream well in the angelic realm. You
Uh-huh.
are in the realm where they are. You're in the realm where your crossed over relatives are, where your guides are, where your angels are. So that communication in search for answers, in search for understanding, in search for clarification, all of those resources are immediately accessible to you when you are
Mm-hmm.
in that dreaming place. It's an easy place to go because you naturally fall asleep at night. Most people just fall asleep at some point in their day. And the exciting part is when it continues through your waking hours.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's building those relationships. It's understanding who I'm listening to, who is answering me, where are they, and are they with me when I'm awake? Because when I'm awake, I can feel them. Because
Mm-hmm.
when I'm awake, I can sense the little surprises that they're leaving in front of me in my day that say, "Hey, you're
Yep.
taking life too seriously. Let's have some fun."
That's so
Okay,
fun.
so for me,
Absolutely.
it's a very intimate spiritual experience, and I can only express that it's wonderful as it's embraced,
Mm-hmm.
and it's perfectly natural not to remember as well. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there is no judgment here. It's not about you don't remember dreams, therefore XYZ. No, 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 no. Everybody has their own experiences and their
They
own
do. And not
remembrance.
everybody can make pictures of them like somebody else I know. She blows the
Right?
doors off everybody.
I know. Have
Yeah.
you ever considered being an artist, Diana?
Maybe, maybe I should try that.
Yeah.
But the truth is that that's what you see. You don't. Yeah, maybe you hear some things too, but what are dreams? They're visual. So what
They're
I'm
just
trying
visual.
to really sketch is convey the whole thing in
Yep.
in the sketch, right?
Right.
And believe me, all of that shadow work comes from the steam that is building up on top of the cover I have on my teacup.
Sure,
Get my
sure.
finger and smush it all across the ink.
Well, there's a beautiful book Stephen King wrote a number of years ago called On Writing, and it's not a book of his stories, it's how he came up with them. And 99% of how he comes up with his stories are from dreams. So he has some pretty gross dreams, everybody.
Yeah,
And
there's
he
no
takes-
one movie of his is supposed to be horror.
I know, but he came up with the way something looked or how something, and he inserts it into the stories. So we could certainly ask, please don't give me creepy images like Stephen King, but maybe you'll bring me something that I need to know, or something that will work. Who is they? Who if they don't want you to remember? I don't think there is a they, Froxy. I think you are the they. And maybe you're just processing a lot of your work at night, and you don't need to remember them. When
Right.
you remember one, I would say that's an important dream. Would you
Yes.
too?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Right. I
Oh,
don't
hi, Gypsy.
think your guides would deny you. I
Mhm.
think, they may alter what it is you want to see,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they
Many
introduce
inventors.
you cautiously, carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many inventors dreamed
Yeah.
their inventions.
They
Einstein,
did.
Leonardo,
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Absolutely.
So,
Leonardo da Vinci with his helicopter, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And George
Amazing.
Lucas with Star Wars.
With
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Frank Herbert with Dune.
With Dune.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh. And then
Yeah.
let's go through all the science fiction books, right?
So I
Isaac
just want to put
Asimov.
this up. I want to put this up for Callie from Jay as our ending for this evening. She said her grandmother-in-law used to split dimensions all the time. You'd think she was in spirit, but she wasn't. People would see her at others' houses. Her body was in her room, though.
Right.
Wow.
Amazing, Jay.
Thanks,
That is
Jay.
amazing. Yes, Jay, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Because I had never experienced it until last weekend with
Really? Yeah.
with Landon's cat. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
Right.
Well, if you can say you've never had a nightmare, Froxy, then you're a lucky girl.
Wow.
Yay.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
And Annie says, my theory for years is that many things get played out in the physical, movies, games, etc. Oh, absolutely. Everything is channeled in from spirit. All
Mhm.
creative pursuit
Yes.
is not us.
Yeah.
It's
all-
them, or it's
Yeah.
God, God mind or creative spirit. I know. Everybody had a great time. So just to reiterate, there's a movie called
Dangerous Beauty.
Dangerous Beauty that Kate
I'll put-
wants us to look at if we want to, but it's about a real life person called Veronica Franco, and she lived in the 1500s, and she wants us to go to Venice for our dream meetup this week.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about it on her channel on Wednesday, and I hope you're all there with bells on.
Yay.
I'll be wearing
you,
red
Allie.
Polish dancing boots.
I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thanks,
Thank
ladies,
you,
as
everybody.
always. And thanks, everybody in the chat. Lots of love.
Bye.
to you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks,
Good
everybody.
night. Sweet dreams.